What up, Dokkanners? Welcome back to Tsunami for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So, we are getting 10 new missions for the Legendary Goku event, and these missions are going to be dropping at the same time, reportedly, as the LR Int Godku banner coming out on Global in about less than a day or so. So for this video, I just wanted to jump into these missions, take a look at the categories that they involve, and show you the teams that I have put together given the units that I have to maybe help you put together some teams that you are undecided on. So without further ado, let's begin. Starting off with the first mission, clear the event with a Fusion category team. Fusion. When you think of Fusion, you think of the automatic healing that takes place when you're, 6 turns in and you're below 50% health. So this is a perfect category for the Legendary Goku event, especially when you look at the fact that the main go-to lead unit is an LR and he has type advantage against the final boss of the Goku event. The physical LR Gogeta is a must-have. If you don't have him yourself, you must bring him as a friend unit. That's just the way it is. Some other really great offensive units. Unfortunately, the weakness on this team is that there's really not much defense going on. The Gogeta Blue here, he's great on the offense, but he's really lacking on the defensive end. The Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is a little bit better, but the problem with him is that he's got massive type disadvantage on the final fight, but he's still viable. There are various units that you can use, the free-to-play gotenks. Obviously, ignore the JP unit because we don't have that yet. A couple other great ones. When you're looking at these categories, don't just take a look at the TURs, also look at the SSRs because the Dragon Ball Heroes units don't have TURs yet. They don't have Awakening, some of them, especially the AGL Gotenks and the Int Gohanks, and I believe there's one more, Vegeks. No, Vegeks is a Potara unit. But these two units in particular don't have Dokkan Awakening. So, with this in mind, there really are no other standouts here. The free-to-play base Gogeta, the STR EZA Gogeta, the newly minted EZA Physical Super Gotenks is great. So let's take a look at the team that I have put together, given what I have. So here's my team that I put together. I'm not entirely sure about this. I might still make a few changes here and there, but I will go over the core units that I'm definitely not getting rid of. Number one, obviously, the lead unit, which is the physical Gogeta. This is one of my favorite free-to-play units in the entire game. It was only recently dethroned as the favorite. But this guy can stun, this guy can heal, this guy can tank, this guy can nuke, if all the conditions are met in the various ways. So this guy is a very versatile unit, a lot of utility. So with him, as well as the EZA counterpart to that Gotenks, the Super Saiyan Gotenks, I think I'm going to be good in the recovery and defense department. This guy is one of the few fusion units that actually steadily increases his defense over time. Now that he's got his EZA passive, he can get up to 120% defense. With each super attack performed, he gains up to 30%. So in about 4 turns, he will basically be at his maximum. Again, there's not too much defense going on in the fusion category. And then for my final 2 units, I brought the Dragon Ball Heroes fusions. So Gotenks Xeno, he works pretty well when combined with the gohanks. So they both feed off of each other when the enemy has a condition that the other unit will use using their super attack, then these units' passive will trigger. So, for example, this guy will seal the enemy. When the enemy is sealed, if you look at the passive for the AGL Gotenks, he does an additional super when the enemy is sealed. Likewise, this guy's super attack lowers attack and defense of the enemy, so when that happens, Gohanks' passive will trigger. He gains an additional super attack when the enemy is in attack down status. Now this is always going to be effective in the Goku event because at a certain point, Goku gains immunity to all of these different things, but still, it is very useful to have them paired up because they link well together, as well as their passive. They both have the same passive as far as the base stats. Attack and defense plus 70%, plus an additional attack and defense plus 20% with each super attack performed up to 80, which means after 4 super attacks, they will have gained 80% to both their attack and defense, putting them at 150 each, which is better than a lot of fusion units, unfortunately. And I didn't bring any tech units because it's too dangerous to bring a tech unit into the final fight of the MUI stage. Call me crazy, but I'm a little scarred and a little traumatized from my various free-to-play runs on the Goku event, so there could be a little bit of a bias there, so feel free to use them if you know you can win with them. But in my personal opinion, no tech should be allowed on this category on the Goku event. Next up, Potara. So when you think fusion, you think of fusion and Potara. Potara is the other side of fusion, and when we take a look at the leader, obviously the best lead is the Int Vegito, but if you don't have him, it's not the worst thing in the world because you've got a great substitute with the physical Kefla. The Kefla has type advantage, so that will be very useful if you've got 2 of those Keflas going into the final fight. Unfortunately, the stage before the final fight is STR, so you do run the risk of dealing with that. But you still can dodge on that STR UI Goku stage. So keep that in mind. If you are concerned about this team because you don't have the int Vegito, and you think that your Kefla might get you in trouble, fear not, because in that second to last stage, you can still dodge. And Kefla, one of her abilities is that she has a medium chance to dodge the enemy's attack, I believe. Is it medium chance? Medium chance to evade enemies' attacks. So 25% to evade enemies' attacks, including super attack. Ignore the JP units, but here, obviously, a couple standouts. Number 1, LR Vegito. You gotta have this guy. Sadly, this guy is not as useful as I would have wanted him to be because he doesn't have his EZA yet, but he is still useful if you can ensure that he doesn't get supered. If he only gets hit with physical attacks, this guy is very useful. The Candy Vegito, when placed on a high stat boosted Potara category team, is much better off than he would be in a typical free-to-play run. So don't be as nervous about using this guy if you don't have any other options. The Thickness of Time is a massive defense boosting unit for herself as well as the team, so that's very useful. Recently we had the campaign for the Vegito Blue, which allowed players, the hardcore ones especially, to get a second copy of the Vegito Blue, but not in his LR form, but in his TUR form. The TUR form is a different name than the LR, so if you have both, you can run both and both do the same thing as far as stacking. They're both infinite stackers, so if you are able to use this guy, maybe you should. A couple other great units, the physical ones, these two guys are great because of type advantage. The Zamasu Gowasu, I don't have this unit, but I think that they would help. But I think they're more catered towards a full Realm of Gods team. And then you've got the Dragon Ball Hero unit that I mentioned previously, the vegeks. He's an infinite stacker himself, but he is not in the TUR section, he's only in the SSR, so make sure to check there. But let's go check the team that I put together for this category. So here it is. I decided actually not to bring the Kefla. This could change. I'm not totally set in stone with this team, but I think I'm going to go with it. Maybe, if anything, I will change the last unit to Kefla. But the lead for me is the Potara Vegito. With this Potara Vegito, I do have the opportunity for a free heal, and then if I bring a friend unit of the same type, I get another free heal. And obviously, no Potara team can be without this when facing Goku. He's just the best. He's quite literally the best, I think, like the best super unit to take into the Goku event. He stacks, he's a self-serving unit, he gains his own ki when he needs to. This guy is a team booster. He also reduces the damage that he takes in when he's getting slapped. Although if it's a super attack, he will take a lot more damage because he's got no defense in his passive. But he provides a team attack boost, which is great for the other units. I brought Zamasu because he's a great linking partner with the next unit that I'm about to mention. Plus, he also heals us with each super attack. It doesn't matter how much damage you do. He gains a flat 7% health with each super attack, so I gave this guy maximum additional. He also has high tanking abilities. And this is the unit that the Zamasu is meant to pair up with, the Goku Black. The Goku Black, once he transforms into Rosé, actually becomes probably one of your most, if not your most reliable ally after maybe, 5 or 6 turns, because he greatly increases defense per turn with each super attack after he transforms. So this guy will be very, very useful, as he has been countless times before when I've done the Goku event with all of these pay-to-play units. I don't just do free-to-play, ladies and gentlemen. I don't just do free-to-play. Some of you might have only seen me do free-to-play recently because I've been trying to make that challenge a reality for global, but sadly I'm failing because I'm trash. And the last unit is the Potara Vegeks. He raises defense, he is an infinite stacker himself, he has no TUR, unfortunately. I have no orbs for this guy, I have no super attack for this guy, so if anything, this guy can be switched out for the Kefla. I just wanted to bring him in because he just looks, on paper, he looks like he's a more survivable unit than Kefla is, because Kefla, while she can dodge, in the final fight she can't, and she has no defense really, this guy has some defense. And after maybe 10 to 15 turns, his stacking will allow him to have decent defense to tank. Maybe. But I'll probably swap, you know what, I'll just do it right now. So here's the team. This is the team that I will be taking into the Goku event. If you agree, disagree with any of these team builds or anything that I mentioned, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to see the teams that you're taking because not only will it help me, not only will it help other people, but it will also be fun to engage with you guys and discuss this kind of stuff. Up next, clear the event with Hybrid Saiyans. Hybrid Saiyans is actually going to be one of the easiest runs that you could do when doing the Goku event because there's just so much stacking power and just so much overwhelming force that comes with a Hybrid Saiyans team we don't even need to worry about the main leaders. If you don't have any of these guys, don't worry about it. Obviously, the new LR Int Goku is going to be elite. He's not worth summoning for, by the way. But if you do summon him and you get that, great. You might not even want to use that. So let's go over the units that you can use. Obviously, you've got the Int Future Gohan. You've got the STR Gohan. This guy's not available yet. He's only for JP, so ignore that. But look at the LRs here. Look at the LRs. We've got the Kamehameha lead with Gohan. We've got the Future Trunks great free-to-play option. We've got the Go Bros. We've got the Pan for healing. Int Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He's just an overwhelmingly powerful attack force. No defense. And then there's just so much. I mean, look at this. Tech Trunks, Mini Saiyan Man. So many great units. This is going to be probably the easiest category for me, and maybe for a lot of you. If some of you have the right leaders, this could either go very well or very poorly. And if you don't have a Hybrid Saiyans lead, you've always got the Go Bros. You've always got other ways to get this done because there's a lot of versatility, like I mentioned. So let's take a look at the team that I put together for this. This is my team. I am using the Tech Trunks as the lead. Now, this doesn't give us a lot of stats in the beginning when compared to the previous two categories that we have looked at, but in the grand scheme of things, the stats don't matter. Especially when you're running pay-to-play teams, the stats don't matter early on because basically your early stats are going to be low anyway. Even if you've got a 170% lead across the board, you're still going to be trying to build up your units early on. It doesn't matter where the starting point is because it's either 120, 130, 140, 150, yada, yada, yada. What counts is at the end. And with this team, I have the means to be overly, stupidly powerful by the end. So this team is constructed around stacking. Tech Trunks is a stacker. Once he transforms into Super Saiyan Trunks, he gets even better. The LR Kamehameha Gohan stacks defense. He's insane. Go Bros stacks attack and defense. They're insane. Future Gohan is so underrated in so many ways, it's a crime. It's a hate crime. This guy gains attack and defense with his super attack temporarily, so he's able to brace for impact. Then, the less HP you have, the higher his stats go, kind of like the Rage Super Saiyan Trunks that I use in the Suicide Squad. And finally, he reduces damage up to 50%. He gains that over about 5 turns. That's something that a lot of people fail to realize. He can actually tank very well. So this guy is going to be very, very important, I feel, against the Int MUI Goku stage. I haven't really used him all too often because there's just been so many other units to use, but I kind of want to use him here because I feel like he deserves some justice. Future Super Saiyan Gohan deserves some justice. And then we've got the Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Trunks. This guy's just a tank. After 1 or 2 super attacks, he's good to go for the rest of the fight. He's not going to do much damage, though. He's just going to tank. And the Mini Saiyan Man, a free-to-play extraordinaire, one of the best free-to-play stackers in the game. And I just wanted to have him in there because I've already got enough attack power going. I don't need to have 6 stackers who are all about attacking. I can have a couple defense units here and there. So the last 2 units are basically going to serve as my tanks. So that is Hybrid Saiyans. Again, there were so many options to choose from. There were so many ways to go with this team. So this is not the be-all, end-all team. There are other ways to put a team together for Hybrid Saiyans. So let me know in the comments down below what your team is. Up next, Universe Survival Saga. Universe Survival Saga unfortunately doesn't have too many stackers. Doesn't really have too many units in general. But there are some really, really, really great options, which is probably going to lead to very few team builds, probably a lot of overlap with a lot of people. But let's just take a look. We've got Hit as a lead. He's a dual Universe 6 and Universe Survival. This guy's Universe 7 Universe Survival. This guy's just Universe Survival. You've also got a Joined Forces lead, but I don't think that really works. So Universe Survival Saga, there are not too many Joined Forces. And then you've got the Representatives Universe 7. So you've got some leeway here and there. The free-to-play category leaders are terrible. So if you're trying to do this free-to-play, it's not going to happen. But let's see. Some standouts, obviously, the Kale and KFC. If you got this unit, you're in a really good spot. I don't have this unit, so I really don't know what I'm totally missing, and I'm going to kind of keep it that way. I'd prefer not to take a look at that unit, but if you have them, you definitely got to go take a look at their abilities, because I'm pretty sure that it's stupidly broken for this event. Royal Blue Vegeta is great. One of the best tanks on the category is the 18. Another super amazing tank is Bota Magetta. Obviously, Burger King Goku, he gains some attack and defense with attack received. He does some team stuff. He does a lot of damage, and he gets only stronger with each battle. So a lot of great pieces here. So let's take a look at the team that I myself have put together for this category. Here it is. So don't pay as much attention to the lead unit. That one you can You can use jiren, you can use hit if you want. I decided to go with Burger King Goku because he has a really nice offense. He just gets only stronger with each attack. He gains a little bit of defense when he receives a couple hits here and there, but not too much. But mainly, I constructed this team for the other units. So take a look. We got 2 level 100s in there. Those guys are all you need, really. Kale and caulifla, the unawakened units, those guys are so good for this event because their passives are predicated around fighting a Universe Survival Saga enemy or a Pure Saiyans enemy. So when Kale fights a Pure Saiyans or Universe Survival enemy, she will automatically get a guaranteed additional, and her attack raises attack and defense while causing supreme damage. So if she is going to be getting a guaranteed additional each time she attacks, she will be attacking twice. Therefore, she will get twice as strong in the same amount of time another unit that does supreme damage would do, and raises their attack and defense. And then the other unit is caulifla. She also gains attack and defense, but her passive is a guaranteed dodge against any Universe Survival Saga or Pure Saiyan enemy. Now I have one question. I don't know. I've never tried this out yet. I'm sure a lot of you already have. I'm sure it's been done on JP, but I myself have not tried this out, so I don't know. But on the final stage against the Int MUI Goku, where the dodge is disabled, does that mean that her passive is also disabled? Or does her passive allow her to be the one and only exception to that condition? Either way, it shouldn't matter because at that point, you should have strengthened this unit quite a bit where she can actually handle those attacks. And this is not a free-to-play unit, so the stat buffing and overall stat progression is much, much higher. So I'm not concerned for caulifla at all. Then you've got Roll Blue Vegeta. He also gets stronger over time with defense. When he transforms, he becomes even stronger on the offensive end. So he's a great option. You can never really go wrong with that guy. And I'm also very much looking forward to trying this guy out. I haven't used him in a very long time. I don't think I even did this on the Goku event. But bergamo. He can go as high as 300% attack and defense when he takes enough hits. And his super attack allows him to cushion the blow, so when he does get hit, it won't hurt as much. So this guy has type advantage. This guy all around was tailor-made for the Goku event, and I cannot wait to use this guy. He is the unit that I am most looking forward to using out of anyone in all of Dokkan. And finally, I brought Bota Magetta because he's pure defense. That's all he's here for. I don't really need him on offense. I've got plenty of offensive units, but he's totally reliable on defense. He increases his defense by 30% for 6 turns. He is guaranteed to defend against all attacks when HP is 80% or below. And when you're doing this type of event, you're not going to always be at 100%. So in situations where you're below 80%, this guy is guaranteed to guard against those attacks, even against MUI. And you can't dodge, so the next best thing from dodging is guarding against those attacks. So that is my Universe Survival Saga team. That is but probably my most reliable team on paper. On paper, this team looks like it is poised to do a clean, no-item run, but we will see. Up next, Realm of Gods. Realm of Gods is a tricky category for a number of reasons. Realm of Gods seems to just cause problems. It doesn't matter what event it is. If it's Super Battle Road, it causes problems. If it's a Legendary Goku event, it causes problems. Let's take a look at the Realm of Gods category. You've only got 2 leads for the Realm of Gods category as of right now. AGL Zamasu and Int Goku.
What?
AGL Zamasu and Int UI Goku. Neither one has any defense, basically. And at the end, you want to have defense because you can't dodge, which basically eliminates this guy's passive. The other lead that you can use is the Zamasu Gowasu. I don't have this unit, so I don't really know what exactly I'm missing. And the free-to-play option is pretty lousy. So free-to-play, you're kind of in trouble when it comes to pure category leads. You've got the Vegito Blue. Obviously, you got to have him. Goku, if you want, if you're able to pull him on the Legendary Summon, which I highly recommend you don't. A lot of other units, great stackers. A lot of units that pair well with one another, like the Beerus and the Beerus. I'm sure some of you know why I'm noting these 2 units in particular. So here's my team. I'm running a Pure Saiyans Realm of Gods team, led by Transforming Vegeta. And then, as you can see, the LR Vegito Blue is back once again. Expect to see him a lot. You've got the 2 TUR God units, the blue units, that only recently got their TURs on Global, maybe like 2 months ago. Both increase their attack and defense. Both are also nukes. And when you're doing this Goku event, the stronger your units become, the more they heal from matching orbs. So these guys are actually basically walking heals. So these guys are very, very useful. I'm also still thinking in terms of free-to-play. I'm still thinking in terms of no-item runs because I've just been doing it so much because free-to-play runs are more challenging, they're more exciting. So I still kind of have that mindset going into this. So by all means, don't take what I say as gospel. If you've got your own thoughts, if you've got your own feelings, if you've got your own experiences to go on, use your best judgment, use your instincts, and assemble the team that you think is best. These are my teams that I feel are the best on paper. Once again, they're subject to change because if I take them to the Goku event and then I get trashed, I probably have to make a few adjustments. But I think this team is pretty good. This guy is probably the one unit that I'm not too confident about. This guy greatly increases attack and causes supreme damage, but he doesn't really gain anything in the defense department, unfortunately. But he does have a high chance of guarding against all enemy attacks. So that will be his saving grace, hopefully. And then the final unit is the Transforming Goku. Transforming Goku and the Transforming Vegeta unfortunately have finite number of stacks. Once they cap at blue, they are no longer able to increase their attack or defense. Actually, they're able to increase their attack with their super attack, but not their defense. And that too, the attack buff is temporary. So that is Realm of Gods for me. Up next, Pure Saiyans. There's going to be a bit of overlap here, but let's take a look at the Pure Saiyans category. We've got the Transforming Vegeta, the Royal Blue Vegeta, the Int Goku, and the EZA Broly. EZA Broly is a very, very good unit for this event. Trust me, and right off the bat, if you take a look at this category, there are a ton of LRs. Not even counting the JP ones. A ton of LRs. So you've got a lot of options to go with here. Even if you don't have the two Vegeta leads, you could use the SPR Goku, 1000 Day Goku, a much better option out of the two. You've got a Resurrected Warriors lead in the Tech LR Broly. You've got Goku's family, you've got Vegeta's family, you've got Joined Force. I don't think there are enough Joined Force Pure Saiyan units to actually use this as a lead. You can still run them. And then if you look down on the TURs, I mean, it's ridiculous. Pure Saiyans, I think, is the most lucrative category in all of Dokkan. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is still the case. I don't know if another category has taken the title away from this one, but I mean, the list just goes on and on. So many units, so many various names when comparing their TURs to their SSRs. Great, great category. A lot of options. You can't really go wrong here. So let's take a look at the team that I have put together for this category. Pure Saiyans led by Transforming Vegeta. And you are probably noticing some returning favorites like the caulifla and the kale. I just want to use them a lot because I feel like this is the one and only event where they are meant to be actually used quite a bit. So that's why I've included them again. You can use so many different units. There's really no wrong answer. So what I did was, because these two units are going to be focused on stacking primarily, as well as the Transforming Vegeta, and my last unit, which is the Namek Goku, who increases his defense, I thought I could bring a couple units that don't really do any stacking permanently, but do some temporary stacking and can be used whenever I need to use them, but they can still be viable when I don't. And that are the two LR Super Saiyan 4 units. Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta both have a dupe in them, both massively increase their stats for one turn when they gain orbs, and they are so good, they gain so much ki per rainbow orb or matching orb that these guys really don't need any sort of warm-up, they don't need any sort of prep. All you got to do is throw them into the fire, and when you need them, they will come through for you. They also can counter, so these guys are very, very good. But if you don't have LRs, there are so many TURs that you can use, you're not going to be in a whole lot of trouble. So that is Pure Saiyans. Probably Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans are going to be the easiest two categories, in my opinion, when simply looking at versatility, constructing a team, and having the flexibility to mix and match your lineups when you're in the Goku event. I'm not saying that they're the strongest team overall. I'm saying that these are probably the two easiest categories to choose from and assemble a team, and overall have the best experience on the Goku event. Full power category. Full power category, you have the Broly lead, you've got the full power Super Saiyan 4 lead, the LR Frieza lead, but it doesn't stop there. You have other options. You've got Resurrected Warriors, you've got Joined Forces. I don't know if actually you can use Joined Forces for full power. I don't think there's enough. You've got Kamehameha, Siblings Bond, Goku's Family, Universe 7, also another category that doesn't really work here, just maybe the one unit that works. And then looking at the actual category itself, Royal Blue Vegeta, Transforming Frieza, the new EZA Golden Frieza is amazing. Kaioken Goku is a stacker, Transforming Goku is a stacker. The Exchange Vegeta is here, but the Goku Gohan is not. They are not at full power when they emerge from the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Kaioken Goku, a lot of options. Another Kaioken Goku, Transforming Vegeta, a lot of options. You can go Super, you can go Extreme here. The EZA Cell is a great new unit that can stack, don't forget about him. So let's take a look at the team that I put together for full power. I've got 3 LRs for full power. The Kamehameha lead Super Saiyan 2 Gohan unit. He will not be transforming, but it's not necessary because we want him to be stacking. We've got the Gobros for more stacking. LR Cell, he is a great unit to have on these type of events because he will automatically heal you when you fall below 30%. Not to mention he's an amazing unit. And the new EZA Perfect Cell, like I had mentioned, this guy stacks. I haven't used this guy before. I don't really know how well he's going to do, but I'd like to try him out because on a pay-to-play team you have a little bit of leeway. I've already beat this event many times with pay-to-play units, so it's okay to try things out here and there. But this guy's starting defense is a little bit low, which kind of worries me. So if you're taking this team, or maybe a variation of this team with lesser stats, be a little careful with units with starting defense as low as this guy, because as you're moving into the fight, you want to make sure that their defense skyrockets high enough so that it overcompensates for their starting minuscule defensive rating. Royal Blue Vegeta is making yet again another appearance. This guy's everywhere because look at his categories. He's on every category. So naturally, he's going to be on this team as well. And finally, the Kaioken Goku. This guy raises attack and defense with a super attack. He's not bad. He's not bad. He stacks, and that's about it. He doesn't really do anything else. So that is my full power team. Again, a lot of variation, fortunately, because there are a ton of LRs, a ton of categories to choose from. So you are not in the wrong if you don't use the team that I use. I could very well be in the wrong. Who knows? Up next, we've got the Transformation Boost category. When you look at Transformation Boost right off the bat, when you look at the leads, you kind of get bummed out. Because number one, we don't have Cooler yet. Number two, the only other option as the bona fide lead is the Transforming Boo. And he's not good. He's not good, especially for the Goku event. He's just one of the worst. He's still great. He's got a lot of utility. But for what we're trying to do here, he is not the way to go, in my opinion. So if you don't have that unit, or if you have him and you don't have anybody else, well, let's take a look at the units that you can choose from. You've got the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, once again, the LR, so you can lead a Kamehameha team. You could maybe lead an Artificial Lifeform team, I don't really know. I haven't tested that out yet, but you've got the Baby, you've got the LR Cell, so both Artificial Lifeform options, and if you're also running free-to-play, you could run Artificial Lifeforms, Resurrected Warriors with the Oob. You could also run a pay-to-play Resurrected Warriors, Android Cell Saga. And then you've got the, the standard transforming units, basically a lot of evil units, the ones that morph into various forms. That would be all of these guys. But we've also got some very good super units. Transforming Trunks, great. Royal Blue Vegeta, no surprise there. Transforming Goku, and many more. The Namek Goku, EZA Cell, Transforming Frieza, Goku Black, so many to choose from. So if you actually end up using an extreme team, it's not the worst thing in the world, and it actually might be more fun because you're always using super teams. So maybe try putting together an extreme team. Speaking of which, let's take a look at my team. I went with a super team. I'm weak. I don't want to test it out. I want to get the mission done, and then maybe I'll play around with various categories. So this is my Transformation Boost team. I'm starting out with a 120% boost on all super units, and a 170% boost on future Saga units, which only applies to two of my units here. One is the Transforming Trunks, the other is the Goku Black, which, if anything, he deserves the most amount of buffing early on, because he only gets good once he transforms into Rosé, which only happens after the 5th turn, which probably takes you into round 2 or 3. Since you're running pay-to-play teams, you're going to be doing a lot more damage, so you'll probably get through 2 or 3 of Goku's forms before Rosé even has the option to transform into Rosé. So having that extra boost for Goku Black will be very useful. The rest of the other units will fall with the 120% super category bonus. The LR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, obviously. Namek Goku, obviously. Both do immense damage, but their primary focus is defense. Transforming Vegeta will also gain defense while gaining a little bit of strength in the process. And the Royal Blue Vegeta as well. Everybody's got defense, everybody's got gains. The only thing is making sure Goku Black doesn't get me killed early on, which is not that big of a risk to begin with. Up next, Movie Heroes. For Movie Heroes, you've got the Gogeta Blue as the only lead unit, but then you've also got the Gobros, and you've got Fusion. I don't know if you actually have enough to do a Fusion team under Movie Heroes, but you've got Gobros, and you've got Dragon Ball Seekers. Maybe you can do Dragon Ball Seekers. I think that's possible. So let's take a look at the rest of the units. EZA, Goku Blue, Vegeta Blue, Godku is great. The Ow My Back Vegeta is probably going to be one of the staples on these teams because he stacks, he nukes, he does a little bit of everything. He's going to be very useful. Icarus might also be great because he is kind of like Cell in that when your HP falls below 30%, you get an instant heal. That only lasts you for 1 turn though, So when you're doing the Goku event, if you have to use it early on, you do not have it the rest of the time. EZA Gogeta is great, Goku Blue is great, the LR Saiyaman obviously is amazing. The new EZA Super Saiyan Goku might also be useful. So here's the team that I put together for this category. I'm having a little bit of a doubt on the Gogeta lead because his defense just really bothers me. But what makes me feel a little bit better is the fact that I am bringing him with the LR physical Gogeta. He is a walking heal basically. After 6 turns when you fall below 50%, you will heal, which will probably be something that I use towards the end when inevitably this AGL Gogeta gets smashed in the face by a super attack from either the MUI Goku or the STR UI Goku. One of those two guys will probably do massive damage, almost kill me, and then the Gogeta physical LR will proc. And then I've got the Go Bros as an obvious must-have unit on this team. If you don't have him, try to maybe bring him as a friend and then construct a team around that to try to get a Goku's Family or Siblings Bond team going. The Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, they are great for support, they're great for defense, they're great for using their Ultra Super where they increase the stats of your allies for 2 turns, not just 1 turn, 2 turns. But, however, they do not really have much in terms of defense, so when you get to the latter stages, they are going to be a bit of a flight risk. And then the 2 new TURs that we got recently, once again, the Goku Blue and the Vegeta Blue, both stack, both nuke, both heal, in a sense. So that is my team for movie heroes. Finally, last but certainly least, the movie bosses category is going to be a tough one. The movie bosses category does not have a whole lot of stackers. So you kind of have to think in an unconventional sort of way. You've got the Broly lead, the physical one. You've got the AGL Turles. Once again, the Resurrected Warriors lead, the Tech LR Broly makes a reappearance. No surprise. LR Bojack is going to be probably a commonly used unit for this one. Probably my favorite unit from this category for this event is the AGL Broly. I have now accidentally ended up calling him AZL Broly because he's an EZA AGL unit. So the AZL Broly is probably going to be the key MVP unit for this category. Another one that's going to be great is the EZA Golden Frieza. If you got this guy, make sure to bring him. He no longer has any sort of restriction on his passive. When he tanks, he will tank infinitely so long as your health stays above a certain threshold. When it gets below a certain threshold, it gets a little less tanky, but he gets a little more offensive. So he is very, very good and very versatile for this category. So make sure to bring him. Another great option is the Int Janemba with his EZA. He's also a monster, and he's also got a guaranteed guard, I think, against all attacks. So 3 EZAs that are basically must-haves on the team. I can't imagine running this team without this guy, and this guy. And speaking of EZAs, this guy. So let's take a look at the team that I put together for this category. As I mentioned, EZAs aplenty. I've got 4 EZA units here on top of the physical lead LR Broly and the Bojack. Now don't mind him, he's just in his base form because I got a dupe recently and I never reversed him back. But when I actually have to do this event, I will reverse him back to his LR form. On paper, this team looks very, very, very good. I have never tested out a movie bosses category team on the Goku event, except for the one EZA Broly on the AGL side. The other 2 Brolys don't have much starting defense. So hopefully this guy can stack enough going into the Goku event. I did do a breakdown of this guy when his EZA dropped on Global, and I said, on paper, this guy is the best stacker in the game because you have a guaranteed second super. So he's kind of like the Kale in the sense that he has a guaranteed additional super, so he's going to be raising his attack and defense twice. But some people have said that his stats don't progress nearly as much as you think. So this is going to be the time for me to test this out because on paper, he's the best stacker in the game. Can that transfer into an actual applicable situation? So there are my category teams. Those are the 10 new missions that are going to be added to Global shortly for the Legendary Goku event. This is going to be fun. These are nice new challenges, fresh challenges that are going to force players to up their game, and you can no longer get away with using some of the same units that you always use. You have to fluctuate here and there. Sure, a couple units have multiple categories and they can overlap. That's fine. But this now encourages more diversity, more creativity, and that's what you love about Dokkan. Reinventing the game in various ways, using different teams, bringing different units. This is what it's all about. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a live stream on this one. I might just do videos. Maybe if you guys let me know in the comments down below, or maybe I'll post a poll later on and you guys can tell me, do you guys want to see some of these done live as opposed to being done on video with edits and all that stuff? But that is it for this video. This was a long one. I hope you stuck around. If you did, Kudos, props. If you didn't, I don't blame you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments which category, team, you are most excited for using. Not units that you've already used before, but a brand new team that you've never used before. Which one has you the most excited, the most intrigued to take? For me, I think it's movie bosses. I've never used these guys. I've never used a single one of these units before in the Legendary Goku event, so I'm probably most intrigued to see how they are going to do. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future, and click that notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it! Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.